This is FinCast, the podcast from J2 Innovations, the creators of Fin Framework, an innovative software framework for smart buildings, smart equipment, and IoT.
Hello and welcome to the FinCast. I'm Steve Randall. It's been a busy start to 2022 for J2. The AHR Expo in Vegas in January, the global launch of Siemens Desigo Optic, and a new hardware. I'm joined by two people who can tell us more.
So I'm Jeremy Wolfe. I'm the VP of Sales for J2 Innovations and cover the Americas region.
I'm Jamie Lee. I'm Global Product Manager for Desigo Optic, covering both North America, Europe, Asia, for release of the product.
Let's talk first about AHR this year. You were both there, as I said. How does it work with both Siemens and J2 present?
I know with us, we had the new product, so Optic had a lot of new features that we were rolling out. It's a lot of traffic from various different customers who are interested in the technology, Fin Framework technology. We would link them up with J2 at AHR and tell them, really, if you're interested in technology and building upon a technology, definitely go reach out to the J2 folks, and we'll work with them, or you'll work with them directly, and they could build your solution around the Fin framework for yourselves, just like Optic is for us at Siemens.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we work very well together. The synergies in what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish are something that are both at the heart of what we're trying to do. And so at AHR, having both of us there and trying to promote each other, as well as the partners that we have at J2 Innovations, has always been how we do business.
Yeah, and I guess it helps from a client-focused perspective that it's no secret that there's that link there between J2 and Siemens, so they would kind of expect it anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I think it helps too. I mean, Siemens being a big company, we know that there is a lot of invested in a lot of technology behind what we're trying to do. So I believe J2 Fin Framework's got a lot going for it, and Siemens just kind of adds to validate that in the market. And
can I ask you both for a highlight of AHR this year? What was the big thing, the big takeaway, the thing that you're still telling everybody all about 2 months later?
For me, just entering into AHR this year after the way the pandemic has been and the lack of connection in our industry, person to person, face to face connection. It was great to reconnect with so many old friends and colleagues, as well as meeting so many new people in our industry. It was an amazing time, and the response that we received to the technology this year was quite encouraging. So, it does appear that many of the companies are looking forward to how they can better capture and retain business. And that was, a fresh new take, I think, this year to see that after being kind of stuck in our businesses or homes for the last couple of years.
I would definitely agree with Jeremy. I think it was definitely a good welcome to actually get to mingle with people, not have to do it through Teams or anything like that. But yeah, from our end, the Optic technology was taken very well. And I think a lot what I'm hearing is just people trying to figure out how to adapt to new ways of doing business. I mean, we've typically had kind of a standard way of operating our systems and operating our buildings. And now we're trying to figure out new ways to adapt to that. And how does the technology, cloud and everything like that help us from our day-to-day operations?
And I guess, the pandemic is one element of it, but also the big push driving everybody towards carbon net zero, targets being set, things that have to be done. There's a real impetus now, isn't there, in the industry to get these solutions moved forward?
Yeah, I think a lot of the solutions, moving those solutions forward and figuring out how we're going to get to that part of it. I think it's a very dynamic, I wouldn't say problem, but concern that we have, because even in the U.S., each climate's going to do it differently, and how we can get to that, because we have different requirements for each areas of the United States. Also, we have even more kind of presence of occupancy density within buildings. Also, indoor air quality is a big topic that we're hearing about more and more within the HR space and even in the market. So all that's coming together, and we're trying to figure out how we adapt to those new market requirements.
Jeremy, 2022, busy so far. What's the focus been? What's happening at J2 right now?
It has. We have been quite busy in 2022. J2 strives to stay on the cutting edge of technology, and we do that by continuing to develop Fin Framework. We listen to our partners and to what the market is asking for. And in some cases, we anticipate the market requirements. Last year, J2 released Fin 5.1, which added features such as the Dashboard Builder app, the distributed architecture, BACnet BTL certification, and Edge to Cloud, which provides remote device registration and management across multiple users. And even with sites, we can give secure access to any connected device. So it's fully scalable to hundreds of thousands of sites for remote access from any browser, from anywhere, and without the use of cellular or VPN. We really want to get the OEM more involved holistically in addressing the challenges that we're seeing in commercial buildings today. So as we have started to head into 2022, we recently introduced micro BMS, and that's a scaled down approach to building management systems. If you consider that roughly 20% of commercial building market takes advantage of building automation, that means that around 80% of the commercial buildings are left to basic thermostats and on-off controls. So I'd venture to say that these buildings are primarily serviced by the HVAC installer and don't even see a systems integrator. So with the HVAC installer in mind, and that they are in a prime position to provide a solution for these buildings, we created micro BMS. So with Finn's simplified workflows, its fast commissioning wizards, the dashboard builder apps, and other items, we can continue to provide cutting edge technology, and we can provide that HVAC installer the opportunity to provide their client with the ability to control, optimize, and save energy. We like to say it's simple to install, it's simple to commission, and it's simple to manage. It's just plug and play. With that, we've also been working to provide a simpler, plug and play solution for central plant management and equipment optimization. So you may have heard us recently talk about FinEco, which stands for Equipment Control and Optimization. So HVAC is the primary energy consumer in commercial buildings, and ECO provides our partners with a solution that can be applied to a wide range of applications where the control of equipment is needed. So ECO calculates the performance levels of a single unit in real time, verifies its efficiency, compares it to the design data, and then it can determine the best unit sequence to be activated according to that performance profile. So like micro BMS, ECO utilizes the same technology that made Finn Framework the best-in-class solution. So you can see that the Finn offering has continued to expand by enhancing these technologies, what it can do, and providing more out-of-the-box solutions, including adding hardware to our lineup earlier this year.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that in just a second. This was all something that you were talking to people about at AHR, and how well received was this news by the people you talked to?
Yeah, so at AHR, it was very well received. We saw a turnout from people that, with us all being indoors over the last couple of years, we feel like it was a perfect opportunity to get out, meet the people that we've known, meet the previous and past, colleagues and those that we've done business with over so many years. And so it was a great opportunity to get out and kind of mingle with those folks and share some of this information. And what we saw is in the market, the people are receiving, technology, the advancements and the things that are going on in a much greater rate these days. And I think some of what we're seeing with the occupancy levels inside of buildings, the energy usage when they're vacant, people struggling on how to handle these with lower ability to access buildings, I think we're seeing a little bit of a shift in the market.
Now, as you mentioned, hardware. Now, people know J2 for software and Finn Framework, of course. This is a new thing. This is the F200, a move into hardware. This is a big moment.
Yeah, absolutely. What we see is that providing that F200 to our partners, they can now bundle embedded licenses with this, we say cutting edge hardware. It simplifies the purchasing process, and the F200 was designed with Finn in mind. It is a significant shift in our strategy. However, J2 still remains hardware agnostic, and we provide our partners with other hardware options, including the ability for them to utilize their own hardware.
Okay, well, let's talk about Desigo Optic as well. Jamie, tell us what it is, first of all.
So Desigo Optic is a rebranded version of Finn. So we've taken the Finn framework. We rebranded it for Desigo Optic. So Desigo is our basically software product line within Siemens, and we've built a solution that really focuses on building automation and making it very easy to use, and also giving us more tools to kind of manage the data within our buildings. But we take that Finn framework, we build around it. We also build some tools on top of it to help with our controllers, our field devices, and make that easier to use from a customer standpoint.
And how was it received at AHR?
AHR was received very well. We actually reviewed it from both the end user customer who had reviewed it and really liked the way that it was easy to use, easy to navigate, can receive the data back right away, especially with the new dashboard builder built into Fin. They could see their buildings, how they operate them, but also giving them the ability to manage their data a lot easier from the Fin framework has provided as far as a tagging engine. It's really kind of more advanced than anything out there today. So they see that as a big, huge benefit. Because we being asked to bring more and more data into our buildings, so we need to be able to have a better way of managing that data.
And can you share with us some success stories that you've had in the US so far?
Oh, yeah. We've just recently released a case study. We did a large convention center in Memphis, Tennessee. It was about a $200 million project. Huge renovation. Desigo Optic was the focal point of that renovation. So they brought in Desigo Optic, they integrated the whole convention center, and they saw big changes right away. They were able to easily manage their spaces. Used to take them most of a day to kind of get the spaces under control. They basically can get done within about an hour or two. They can manage all the spaces, make sure everything's coming up to the right temperature. Things where people, there's occupancy, we have them comfortable. They have a touch screen within their central plant. We went down there in January, looked at the operation. With that touchscreen in the central plant, they could see their whole entire building, not only the central plant and how it's operating, but all the key areas that need to be operated. Plus, they have the ability to remotely integrate into it with the new edge to cloud that J2 has provided to us. And now they can remotely operate that. They don't have to be on site to coordinate their spaces. So it's been a huge success for them. They really love the system. And great feedback from them. But we've started putting some videos online in our marketing campaign to really highlight what that brought to that customer.
And of course, with this going global, I mean, Jeremy, what does this mean for J2?
Well, as one of our customers that Siemens is, we support them and we want to help them be successful. And Jamie has provided a big push into the market with Desigo Optic. So I've seen that be something that provided a very positive effect for both Siemens and J2 partners. And I have no doubt that it will provide for a much larger adoption of Fin. So, with the global launch, we can begin to see more companies benefit from what both Desigo Optic and Fin.
And if I can ask this question to both of you, I mean, why do you think this product has such an important place in the market right now?
There's been a big focus on open technology and commercially open technology, meaning that having a framework that's available for multiple different vendors. And really, to be honest with you, for I would say 15 years, it's really been down to one vendor. They kind of monopolize that market. We need to introduce a new vendor. We need to make that openness kind of another vendor to be able to carry that openness message. But we need to take what's not working in another product and we need to make it easier. We need to make it less complex, and we need to make something that a customer can easily adapt to. So really, at the end of the day, if Fin Framework and J2 grow their business and they make it that open model, that all benefits everybody, because now we have a software that kind of allows multiple different vendors to work with this Fin Framework and be able to provide an open solution to the customer at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that competition always drives things to be better, and it always ends up being better for the end user, the customer, the one that's ultimately paying for it.
And so what's the future for Desigo Optic?
So we just, like we said, went globally. We work with J2, probably meet with them at least 2 or 3 times a week, working to grow the technology together. With the global, we go to the cloud. We adopted the edge to cloud technology. And now we look into kind of figure out from that standpoint, how do we bring Fin Framework into even more technologies internally to even kind of grow the product from both the building management side, but maybe into some of the products down closer to the field device level. So we've been working very closely to figure out how we can get to that point. And we've been working with J2 to kind of team up with us to kind of develop that as we move along.
And Jeremy, what's the thing that gets you leaping out of bed in the morning, excited to go into work?
Right now I'm seeing a much higher engagement in our industry from people. Sometimes I think that AHR might have kicked it off for our industry, people getting out, interacting with each other, the traveling around and meeting with people more. I believe that the openness to receive people into our offices and to get to have more of that personal one-on-one touch is exciting, and it's energizing, and it's very motivating.
It's not back to normal yet, but we're getting that synergy with people wanting to talk and meet, and we don't feel so isolated anymore. We now starting to mingle and communicate with our peers and everything like that. So that really helps kind of to build technology and kind of grow, and it gives us a more optimistic future as we move forward. Also, we see more people excited about what's coming. We see challenges out there in the field. There's been a lot of impacts that COVID brought us and all that as far as production and all that. And we figuring out how to kind of adapt to those new changes and those new norms. So I believe we're in the early part of this, but I think more and more as we get back together, we're going to start seeing our industry change. We've kind of had that old school thinking for a while. I think we're going to start thinking things in a new light.
Absolutely.
And as I said right at the beginning, it's been a busy start to 2022, but are there things coming down the line that you're able to share with us now?
I would just say that from J2 Innovations with Fin Framework, we're going to continue to enhance and further develop what we've started. We're going to continue to listen to what the industry is asking for, what our partners and are asking for, and we're going to continue to try to provide those things to make their life easier, to help them be more profitable and to gain more of the market share that they look for. So you'll start to see more things like we did with the hardware. Think the Siemens with that, and with more plug-and-play solutions.
So obviously lots to talk about and plenty of opportunities now to talk to people face-to-face. And there's a big event coming up where you'll be able to do that and people will be able to come and find out more about all these exciting innovations.
Absolutely. We will be at IBCon this year, along with our F200, and that's in June. So we'll be talking to stakeholders in the real estate industry and helping to address their challenges. We'll also be introducing a white paper there as well, which is going to address water usage in the plant room and the HVAC system. So we recently provided a webinar to review the specifics of the F200 and how to get one in your hands. So I'd say that if you have interest on the F200, please reach out to us and let us provide you with more information on it, including a recording of that webinar.
For us, we have new technologies coming out from field device levels. We have new smart valves and stuff like that. So what we try to do with Optic is make sure we properly align with those new technologies that are coming out, especially like the smart valves, build in templates to help support those new smart valves. Some of our new meters that have come out, build some templates around how to make it easily integrate that and organize it into something that we can review from like a dashboard standpoint. And also some of our application-based controllers, like our zone controllers and thermostats and stuff like that, make it easier to bring those in. What we want to do is reduce the complexity, make it faster and to deploy so the customer can start reviewing that system much quicker.
Jamie and Jeremy, thank you so much for joining me on the Fincast today, and thank you for listening. We'll have another episode for you soon.
Subscribe to get the latest episodes automatically using your favorite podcast app. Copyright J2 Innovations, a Siemens company. Find us at j2innovations.com.